Right, it's 10 o'clock, John. So we'll probably have a few latecomers, but thanks for the guys who have joined and here. I know I've already mentioned it to you, the early birds, but I'm Joe Wilks from OneAV. So I'm obviously going to be talking from a distribution side. Obviously, we have now been distributing monitor audio for about a month. And then also joining us, we have John Bennett from Monitor Audio, who is the oracle of monitor audio. And yeah, we just want to kind of give a kind of brief overview of why first of all, OneAV has chosen to partner up with Monitor Audio, and Monitor Audio has chosen OneAV, and also what's coming next on the roadmap. Because as we go through the presentation, I think you'll see why myself and Chris Pinder, when we met with the guys at Monitor, we were so impressed in terms of the guys at Monitor Audio and their focus on CI more than anything, because there's obviously historically what OneAV were doing, KEF, who are a great hi-fi brand and still are and always will be. But Monitor Audio are really impressive in the custom install space, how they can support us and our customers on that side of things. So yeah, everyone on the call, thank you so much. If you've got any questions, in the bottom right, you'll see kind of meeting tools, like a load of dots. In there, there's a Q&A. So the chat won't be working, but if you just put your questions in the Q&A, at the end, me and John will just mop up. There might be some questions that actually you asked during the presentation we've answered later on. So obviously we can brush over those. But yeah, there will be kind of, at the end, we'll go over any questions you've got. So yeah, just make sure you put that in the Q&A because yeah, you won't be able to put them into the chat. So John, welcome. We're 2 minutes in. Hopefully we've got everyone joining the call. Yeah, do you want to just kind of introduce yourself for those who don't know you? So yes. I've introduced myself. I'm Joe from OneAV. I am the sales and commercial director here, and we'll go through the rest of the team at OneAV later in the slide. But yeah, so John, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, morning everyone. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you giving up your time. Yes, as Joe said, John Bennett. I'm the head of UK sales at the Monitor Audio Group. I've been with Monitor Audio Group for just going up to 10 years now. So I've seen quite a few changes through the company, and hopefully we can highlight some of the really positive things that we're bringing for distribution and through OneAV in this presentation. So yeah, bear with us for the next 40 minutes or so, and we hopefully don't ramble on. We give you important information and reasons why to work with us. So yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, great. I think it's safe in saying as well, it's not going to be like a training course where we're reading from slides. Me and John, we're both very similar and quite relaxed and get on quite well. So hopefully we'll be bouncing off each other, and we'll try and make it a bit more interesting than just reading off slides and definitely PowerPoint for everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, obviously we are two British brands, as Joe mentioned there. Discussions started with us. We've been in partnership before. OneAV have had a stint with KEF distributing that brand and those products. But a discussion started between OneAV and Monitor Audio Group, and my colleague Michael Johnson, which you'll see in the slides later on, who's our head of commercial and marketing globally, that we had something in common. Both of us really want to achieve a #1 status. Obviously with Monitor Audio Group, we distribute in over 100 countries, so we're aiming around the world, but one of our largest markets is the UK. And we have a really strong portfolio of custom install products now, and we wanted to align with a distributor that could really hit home with the right message, support what we're trying to deliver, and OneAV were the natural choice. To be honest, we sat down with the guys, and as soon as we started having the conversations, I think Joe, you'll attest to this with Chris when we sat down, we were both on the same page, weren't we?
Yeah, 100%. And like we said, we used to distribute Monitor Audio a few years back now, and we made a decision to go across to KEF. Mainly because at the time, I think you'll hold your hands up, John, and Monitor Audio was a different beast back then. You guys kind of had your basics range, and that was it then. And we'll go into obviously your range now and what's coming. Whereas we had the opportunity to go to KEF, who had a much broader range, and as OneAV, it actually kind of made us realise and let us cut our teeth into more premium audio options than just being kind of the basics C165, C185, which you still got and are still available as basics options, but you've grown kind of a beast. So we saw all of this happen, obviously, after we parted our ways, which was from afar, we were kind of like, obviously happy with KEF, and we're doing, as like I said, we grew our business and our knowledge of audio. But yeah, when kind of opportunity came and seeing what you guys had done and sat down, it was really impressive for kind of the focus from the top to bottom. It's not just John saying, "Oh, I'm focusing on CI." It was like the CEO sitting us down and saying, making some very bold claims, which we'll come on to in a presentation about install. And it was kind of, and very, John's put up on the slide, it was very much a CI brand reborn. It was kind of like, oh, very much, we totally accept where we were. However, we're serious about CI now, and so are we as OneAV, and it was an opportunity we couldn't miss, really, to rekindle that relationship.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, people know Monitor Audio pretty well throughout in the industry or beyond. I have conversations all the time when I'm traveling the country with retailers, integrators, even if they're not a Monitor Audio partner, they will generally tell me, oh, I have or I've had a pair of Monitor Audio speakers of some ilk, and it always crops up. People know the brand, but traditionally it was more in the hi-fi space. So the company, we're not going to do a full run through everything, but it highlights later. We started life 1972 is when the company was incorporated, so we're sort of 53 years in now as Monitor Audio. The starting, as all companies then, was in hi-fi speaker, loudspeaker design, premium quality loudspeakers, but that's developed over the years, and we were one of the first companies in the loudspeaker market. I think around the turn of the millennium, so 2000s, we started developing dedicated custom install products, initially taking from our hi-fi products and adapting them into custom install, and the second generation designing a complete ground up custom installation range. But yeah, we've come a long way in our focus on the business. We are almost 50-50 on hi-fi speakers and custom installation. It's switched that much in the time, and that's all been in the last 25 years.
Nice. Yeah, and like I said, it feels like you've really kind of accelerated that with the changes you made over the last couple of years, which we'll come on to, which is what really excited us. And can't say, like, looking from afar, it's one of those where when we kind of parted ways, because we had the opportunity with Kef, which was great for us as a company, watching all your new speakers come out, it was a bit like, so it's great to kind of now be back on board with it. So obviously linking up with us and Monitor Audio as OneAV, I think obviously you can see there there's a serious advantage. So from our side, we try and pride ourselves on our customer service and kind of what we can offer, and I feel like it just married up really nicely, wasn't it, John, when we started speaking in terms of your priorities as well as Monitor Audio, and we fit a gap for you and you fit a gap for us in terms of kind of that real focus on CI as an audio brand coming into OneAV.
Absolutely, yeah. It was almost like, you know, that when you have that perfect date and you're like, hang on, this is too good to be true. We've all got we've got the same goals, there's certain bits that we're not great at that you guys can bring to the table and vice versa. And yeah, it was I think as we spoke, it became clear that both of us could bring some real positive advantages to you guys, to the integrators out there, to people who really want to deliver some good quality products and solutions and get access to them easily, be supported in your installations, you grow your business. I mean, this is overall all in this to grow business, to make money, and that's why, yeah, this makes such sense as a partnership. Yeah,
no, we're fine about this one. I do, like, because as a distributor, what we're good at is basically being like a extended arm of people's business, where they can pick up the phone and they can kind of speak to us and check stock levels, ask for advice on system design, how do products work together, link things together. And we found real success with a number of branding we've done, which is Umbra Blinds. So that's kind of a relatively new thing. A number of actually now they're really seeing the benefit of having OneAV as a distributor to support customers trying to kind of do their systems and design and stuff like that. And like you said, I think with Monitor Audio, it made the same sense, where we can kind of really complement each other in the right way. And we both, like you said, that perfect date where you walk away and you're like, this is almost too good to be true. Those ones.
Oh dear. So yeah, so that's a good summary where we're kind of at. We've led some teasers in there. We're going to show you obviously a little bit of what Monitor Audio brings to the table, how OneAV can augment that and help you guys deliver your projects, what there is all in this little package for us to help you grow your businesses. We're just going to give you a little heads up of summary of where we're going now, so you know what we're rambling on about. We're going to give you a little insight into Monitor Audio. We will give you a little bit of overview of some of our product ranges. This isn't, as Joe said, a technical. I'm not going to go deep into all the products, but we're going to highlight some of the key things, I think, why OneAV and the team there are really interested in working with us, because what we bring to the integrator market. We're going to obviously look at our roadmap, where we're going with our new products and give you a little bit of a teaser into where we're going, because that is a really solid part of our R&D business, and you'll see why in a second. And then we'll just basically give you a little bit of a summary, just remind you what we've been telling you today, because obviously it will be a few minutes worth of information. So yeah, hopefully anything that crops up, as Joe said, drop those questions into the Q&A. If we can answer them as we're going along, we will. If I can't answer them, I can honestly admit I don't know everything in the world, definitely. We can always get back to you later to the OneAV time.
Also, we are recording this this presentation, and so it will be available. It's not going to be available publicly, but we will be able to send you the link to rewatch it. So if there's anything where you're like, oh, what did they say on that presentation? You want to go back over it or spend some time reading through the slides yourselves, you can do. We can share that with people afterwards.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, just to give obviously a quick summary of Monitor Audio. People generally know Monitor Audio as a brand, but people don't know, obviously, we're part of a group of companies. So Monitor Audio started in 1972, celebrated our 50th anniversary a couple of years ago, did a big firework moment then and shouted about our engineering expertise by releasing our Hyphen flagship loudspeaker, which if anybody's seen it, they know what it is, or they've heard it. It's an amazing little product. It shows our aspirations for where we're taking our design in the future. But yeah, Monitor Audio is part of the group. So Monitor Audio, just over 50 years old. We also own other British brands. So Roxanne, the hi-fi electronics brand, they're celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. Block, which is hi-fi furniture brand, that's 15 years old as a brand. So all of those are under the Monitor Audio group banner. We're all based in the UK. We've got our head offices down in Rayleigh in Essex, where we've got just over 62,000 square feet. So we've got a lot in that vicinity. We've got all of our warehousing, so all our UK stock is held there to service the UK and European markets. We've got all of our teams there, so all of our admin, finance, marketing, R&D, everything is based in the UK, which is a serious advantage. And I think one of the things that kind of attracted the guys at OneAV, and they knew playing on that strength, you can get answers very quickly. We're all sitting in the same building. It's no red tape involved.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like when me and Chris came down to head office, it was great because you literally do walk through and you see the whole process. You see the R&D team, the warehouse team. You see the guys assembling and kind of programming all the Roxanne stuff. So yeah, so that was really impressive, and we're great and passionate about supporting British, and kind of obviously Mr. Trump helped us by highlighting the tariffs of why we should be supporting British companies and being obviously an independently owned British distributor, and obviously having that close working relationship as OneAV, which we don't hide away from, with HD Aware, which is once again British owned, independently owned. Monitor Audio kind of really tick that box, as well as obviously the brands, because it's worth mentioning, even though this presentation webinar is about Monitor Audio, OneAV, we do also have and distribute the Roxanne and Block, which John's mentioned. So there'll be more marketing coming later in the year. That obviously our focus recently has been around Monitor Audio and speakers, but we actually do and are distributing all of those brands as part of Monitor Audio Group, which is great news.
Makes sense. Yeah, we've got a really comprehensive lineup of products across all three brands, which all supplement each other and work brilliantly with the other brands that OneAV distributes. So you can deliver a complete project with effectively everything that you get from OneAV, which is another reason for us. We want to take on that side of distribution in the UK. You no longer have to go to the go-to distributor that you think you should because they are the best. Actually, we're a brilliant alternative. We can probably offer you more in terms of what we can offer in this partnership. So this is why we're doing this webinar today and getting people informed of what we can offer. So yeah, Rob, our CEO, he's a very learned guy, very hands-on. He was our financial director before joining, before becoming our CEO. He leads the flag of Monitor Audio and the brand, and this message from him flows down throughout the whole company. And the main thing is we do believe it. This is our aspiration. So we're banging home that message. Obviously, the largest independently owned British group of audio companies. So we're not responding to any financial heads. We're not looking for responding to certain targets. We are investing back in the business. As you saw in there, we've got a team of 30 plus R&D, which we invested in over the COVID period when people were pulling back on their staff. We were investing in staff to drive our R&D to kick off after COVID with new projects. And the aim is ultimately to be number one in our regions everywhere through either a distribution model or direct to the market. Obviously, we deal through a distribution, through a retailer or an integrator model. We do very little direct customer selling, which is also, I think, an important point to raise as well. And yeah, ultimately, we've got a 5-year road plan in place. We'll give you a little view into that later on, but that 5-year strategy roadmap of products is the thing that we base every day, every week, that we look at that and we review it, and that's our ultimate goal.
Yeah, I think on this statement, I think this is probably what me and Chris, when we first started having those conversations, we took away from those conversations was we met Rob and sat down with Rob as the CEO, and he pulled up a similar presentation to us with that quote on it. And it was his kind of like attitude of how convinced he was they were going to achieve this, how like the plan they had in place and how they're going to execute it. And not just how it was all about him and Monitor Audio, kind of like it, talking about his business, it was talking about his partners, so he was talking about his distributors, his installers, about how all of us as a group and as relationships would grow. And we walked away from that saying, like, I really feel like he would have our back, like as one of it, like if we became your distributor, he genuinely believes Monitor Audio will be, and you walk away from that feeling like Monitor Audio are going to have a kind of the biggest global market share in our areas, and he wants us on that journey. As well as distributors and installers. So that's like a really important message for me to put across to customers and installers is actually, as a business, it's not just about how do we grow Monitor Audio and don't kind of worry if we upset people along the way. It's like, no, how do we grow Monitor Audio and grow our distributors, our dealers, everyone who is loyal to our brand we want to grow as well. So yeah, that really impressed me, John, when we kind of walked away from that meeting, was Rob's, about his attitude and how we delivered that message compared to kind of, other people out there. I think it was really put me and Chris in a position where we're like, it's great to hear that from someone who was a CEO and be like so genuine about it.
We can always be British and a little bit modest and stuff like that, but this is a truthful statement that Rob made very much at the start when he took over as CEO, and he's put in place a lot of things in the business, and that's why it's changed so much. Joe mentioned, we're very different Monitor Audio and Monitor Audio Group to even 5 years ago, let alone 25 years ago. But yeah, in the last sort of 5 years, there's been massive change driven from the top from Rob and his team that he's put in place, and I'm proud to be part of that team that's delivering it in the UK. So yeah, we're hungry. We want to take on the market and show people actually we are a great first choice for hi-fi architectural speakers and electronics, and the way to do it is through OneAV in this case. So yeah, what a segue.
What's to OneAV? So yeah, I'll be very brief because I think most people on the call probably know OneAV or have a good idea about us. But yeah, like I've mentioned, we're kind of independently owned British company, kind of based in Malvern and Worcestershire. So yeah, our goal, and over the last couple of years, my priority is to try and kind of get a range of products in place that we can support our customers across the whole project. I think a few years ago, people knew OneAV for certain brands and came for certain brands in terms of like if it's HDMI, video distribution, just the power, which kind of like for years were such big back brands for us. Whereas now, I think we've got a portfolio where we can take those expertise we have as OneAV in terms of customer support, technical knowledge, and really kind of offer it across all of our brands and multiple brands across the business. So yeah, so we've got full kind of like sales team, technical support team, customer success managers who kind of can just answer all your questions about your account, any finances. We have for credit accounts. We did a mailer a few years ago, probably a year or so ago now, saying we take Amex, which everyone was really happy about, all those business and the air miles people were getting with OneAV now. So yeah, that's kind of the intro on OneAV. We are a CI focused distributor. We attend all the trade shows as well, so we do all the CEDIA events, ER Live, because we generally believe FaceTime and relationships with customers is important. We don't want to be a box shifter. We don't want to just be a website you go to buy. We want to be people where you can kind of drop us a WhatsApp or drop us an email or kind of bounce off us some ideas when you're doing system design. So yeah, so we are, like I said, that message which I spoke about hearing from Monitor Audio about how we kind of want our customers to grow with us. We're an ambitious company. We want to grow, and installers who are with us and brands who are with us, we want to take everyone on that journey, and we want to grow us as a business, we want to grow our brands, we want to grow our installers. So we're all succeeding and as a whole kind of really grow the industry. So
I think you've been a bit modest as well there, Joe. Your facilities are great there. Obviously, when we came to visit you guys, it had been 5 years since I'd been to see the facilities, and they've obviously received a massive upgrade in terms of welcoming space to get your customers in, getting hands-on with the brand. That's the key thing, isn't it? I think I saw the opportunity that we're both developing our facilities at the same time. So at the HQ for Monitor Audio Group, we are converting almost an entire half of a downstairs part of our entire building to an experience centre. So there'll be an opportunity to visit us. You can get hands-on with the product. You can meet with the designers because we've got everybody based on site. So it's nice and easy. There's ability to take a client of yours as well to a system and show them a hi-fi system or show them a premium cinema system if it's needed and it isn't available at OneAV. I'll leave that one on to Joe in a minute. But yeah, we'll have dedicated listening spaces and demonstration rooms for the products. But OneAV have exactly the same. That's the kind of thing that ticked us at the same time. We're both on this road to redeveloping our spaces, and you guys at OneAV have got a brilliant cinema you're putting in, demonstration spaces.
Yeah, and it's going to be the same. So half the reason I've got blurred background is the wall behind me is still not been plastered because it is we are very much in the process of building our facilities. So yeah, as John mentioned, we're going to have a full Monitor Audio synergy system going in with Monitor Audio amplification into that. So that would be great. And it's not just a showroom for us to kind of get installers here and people into the industry. It is going to be a space where installers can bring customers. So if an installer's got a lead where their customer wants to hear what's possible, it's going to be kind of like bring them along, and it's your showroom because it's going to be a cinema space and a showroom area where we've got other products in the showroom area where we can show people, kind of pick them up, feel them, demos going on. So yeah, it's the way we're viewing it is it isn't OneAV's kind of like just our showroom to show to our customers, it's our customer showroom as well. And I think obviously with you down at Monitor Audio down in Essex, doing a similar thing. It's kind of like we've got a nice spread across the country there where people can really kind of, rather than say, oh yeah, you want a cinema, it's going to sound good and hope the customer trusts you, you've actually got a space to bring people in. So yeah, it tied up nicely with both of us kind of having building sites at the same time when we're having conversation is because we are implementing those demo spaces. But yeah, but my plan is by EI Live, hopefully we'll be able to kind of give people opportunity to book in and come and see it if you're local. So yeah, so a couple of months away, we should have kind of more information on when it will be up and running. So it's very, very much in the pipeline. Yeah,
I know I saw you put on your social media posts about you received a delivery of demo synergy product. You're getting very excited over that. So yeah that's going in. Cracking. So yeah, just to give you a bit of overview of the two companies, these you'll probably see more of the OneAV side of things, dealing with as a distributor, but I've given a little bit of an overview of some of the UK team and who the OneAV team are working with, just because we are human and we are dealing with people who are obviously, real people who have a passion for what they're doing. So, Joe, I'll let you go through your team first over there, probably. As well.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. But yeah, so obviously myself, commercial sales director, and then these are probably the main people will be speaking, picking up with. So you've got George and then Joe Fletcher, even though he's actually more technical sales. So Joe does a lot of system design and kind of technical support on that side of things there. And then on the bottom you've got Deb, who's marketing manager. So Deb is obviously leads all our campaigns, but also you can leverage Deb with your business if you want content to put out onto your socials, if you want any assets and stuff like that. A lot of customers don't realise the support's there, where you can actually ask us. And I know a lot of people are one-man bands or just a few people and they don't have dedicated marketing teams and you're trying to do stuff. We can actually help you with that as well on that side of things. And Monitor Audio have some great assets, some great kind of content, which obviously Deb can support you in kind of making sure that if you're posting about stuff and you're trying to get leads on your social media, but it's all on brand as such. And then you've got Adam, and we've actually missed Chris is on the call. We've got Chris and Adam in technical services. So if you ring up and you've got a technical issue, it'll be Chris or Adam, or most of the time picking up the phone or emails and then supporting you on that. And then Jess is our customer success manager. So Jess deals with general inquiries if it's around your account, or if you've got any kind of shipping issues or payments, refunds. So Jess is kind of making sure that all those niggly bits, which a lot of people kind of get annoyed with and stuff like that, everything is as smooth as possible behind the scenes for people on that side. So that's as all the kind of the team customers will be dealing with here at OneAV.
Fab. Yeah, and obviously we're supporting OneAV in the background. We've got, I say, all of our admin, marketing, finance, operations, technical are all sitting there in Rayleigh. So when these guys need an answer, they can pick up the phone, they can send us a live chat, they can send us an email, and it's responded to. And I had somebody tell me a funny thing the other day in terms of the time when they get email replies back from Monitor Audio Group. I won't name who it was, but they basically said we were the fastest in replying to them, and they said the longest it's taken to reply to an email is 16 minutes. So yeah, we're pretty hot on it. We're always trying to look after OneAV and look after you guys as customers, so supply with all the information. So yeah, Matt Miller, our head of marketing, work really closely with Debs and obviously get the information across, almost see them as a filter from the Monitor Audio Group side of things. We'll get the information down to a certain point. OneAV can then help you because they know your business even more intimately than us. We've got a great team of sales admin headed up by Jess, who obviously sort out all the processing of orders and getting that stock out to OneAV as quickly as possible. And then Dan has been with us for a serious chunk of time now. You referred to me as the Oracle, Joe, at the start of it. That's definitely not true, but Dan definitely is an Oracle of our products. He knows back to pretty much the first days of our products. So yeah, if there's a question, you guys have it, throw it towards the technical team in OneAV. If they don't know, Dan will know. Yeah, we've got your backs. So yeah. So let's get on to the tasty stuff, the product, and probably this is why Joe said he was so jealous when he saw our lineup and what we've done in the recent years. So yeah, Monitor Audio Group, as a quick overview, Monitor Audio, we're known from the early sort of 80s of taking up using metal cone drivers. So we use a polymer, a mixture of metals, ceramic coated aluminium, magnesium. You see it as the acronym CCAM and a lot of things we have dotted around. But yeah, basically it's metal cone drivers. They're very light, they're very stiff, they work very pistonically, so backwards and forwards with very little breakup and distortion if you know what you're doing with them, and our team do. We hang our hat on that technology, so you'll see that technology throughout all of our hi-fi product to start with, and it's been refined and refined and refined over the years and still sits within our hi-fi custom install products. We obviously are known from day one pretty much for high quality fit and finish, one of the best in the industry at the price points. So everything from our custom install cabinets, no stone is left unturned. Just because the product is going into a ceiling, we don't then just leave it as a dog's dinner at the back of it. We will still make sure that product is a really good solution for you. It's easy to install, easy to identify, easy to service, that kind of thing. And our cabinetry, yeah, doesn't need to be said. When you see some of our hi-fi cabinets, the finishes that we offer on those are exemplary. They really are beautiful, and they stand next to their peers. So hopefully something that appeals to a customer. I saw a stat the other day that apparently about 50% of the buying decision is made in the hi-fi space just on visually on the product first of all. Somebody just buys it without listening to it, which I can believe in the modern age.
Yeah, it's one thing which kind of I noticed as well, especially with a new kind of creator series, was everything's been thought about in terms of it's been thought about like you've actually spoken to installers. I think installers will probably, every people on this call will know, you buy a custom install product and it's clearly been designed by people who aren't installers because they haven't thought about little things, little niggles, but we'll come on to kind of a bit of the technology a bit further on. But yeah, in terms of obviously all the innovation and quality, I think that's kind of stood out for me when I kind of started having a look and picking up and looking at the kind of creator series and synergy and things like that. I was just like, it's just been thought about. It's stuff.
We'll show you later in there how we kind of get those ideas where it came from, and yeah, Joe's hit the nail on the head. But yeah, it's there's a whole range of products as well. I think when people always say they look at the Monitor Audio range, I can definitely say hand on heart that we offer the most comprehensive range. We cover everything from hi-fi box speakers and lifestyle speakers right through to custom installation architectural speakers and electronics and streamers. We leverage all of our R&D expertise, massive coverage. It's also current as well. All of our ranges, everything that is current in our ranges is basically 5 years old or less. So we've been injecting that technology that we've developed and learned recently into the ranges, and we've revamped all those ranges. So if you're taking a custom install product from Monitor Audio and looking at it, it isn't technology that's just been rehashed for the last couple of decades, which, you know, some people have been doing that. We don't do that. We're on our 4th generation of custom install product now, so making sure all the latest developments are in there and all those great integrator friendly things are integrated in there as well. I think that pretty much covers it all onto there. Obviously, as I said, we do hi-fi, architectural speakers, electronics. We make sure that the products we make, the fundamentals are done very well. So if it's a speaker, it sounds a ridiculous thing to say, but the fundamentals of a speaker are there. It produces a great sound. That's just a given. And then we can add the little flourishes on top. Our technical director, Michael Hedges, is very passionate about doing that right. A lot of brands sometimes get carried away, chasing a unicorn and doing something special for a particular market, and actually overall the product doesn't work. It doesn't serve a purpose. It's out of place. So with the new custom install range, this creator series we released in 2023, we actually reduced down the number of speakers we had. Over the years, we'd added and added, and it got a bit complicated, but difficult to get your head around as you guys, as integrators, let alone explaining it to customers. So I've given a little bit of an overview on here. That's woken you up. If you're looking at this nice orange screen there for you, we've looked at solution products to make sure we're actually designing for solutions, not just making a product for a product's sake. So we make, in our integration and our architectural ranges, we make in-ceiling and wall products. We make specialist products, so plaster in, wall invisible, or small aperture speakers to fit in with interior design-led projects. We do a great range of indoor and outdoor speakers, which is our climate range of speakers, and we also do a dedicated climate garden system as well. A full range of electronics that are tied in to work with our CI speakers because they're developed in partnership. You've got great things on those streamers and amplifiers like speaker profiling, EQ, DSP, all available at a click of a couple of mouse clicks. You can adapt those amplifiers to drive and monitor audio speakers to their best. We base all of our streaming back end on the Blue OS technology. So we've got a hardware partnership with Blue Sound, and we integrate Blue OS into both Monitor Audio and Roxanne products, current and future. And then cinema is a large part of our business. Obviously, we're into originally multi-channel cinema with our hi-fi loudspeakers. We've had a whole separate track of development in our cinema, and we delivered a couple of years ago our Synergy, our THX Ultra certified Synergy, which you can see a little peak on the bottom right hand corner there, which is the one thing that we want to play you. You want to have a listen to that when you get into OneAV. Their demonstration room is filled with that, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah. So the cinema room, we're obviously going full Synergy in there, and it's Monitor Audio amplification. And the plan is we're actually going to have a in-room solution as well, so we can actually kind of do a comparison, because like you said, John, you kind of Monitor Audio entered the kind of multi-channel space in doing the hi-fi speakers as kind of 5.1s and stuff like that. And also we understand that not everyone is going to be wanting to kind of buy and order a full Synergy system off the bat. So being able to kind of have that option to roll in an in-room solution to show clients what kind of you can. Oh, is it you have lost, John, or is it me going?
I'm good.
But yeah, no, so it's kind of like one of those where we can kind of reel in and show demo kind of a 5.1 system, so customers can know actually this is the entry point. So if you just want kind of an media room going in, we'll be able to demo that in our space as well, and then hopefully we can blow their socks off with Synergy, and then they go, oh, I actually want that. So that's the plan in kind of in the cinema space.
Yeah, I think we'll show you briefly in a minute, so it's not technical, but we'll give you an overview of how our speaker ranges work now, the simplified ranges. It's easy to take people on a journey and move up between the ranges because there's a technology story there, and also you can move between the ranges and see there's a performance increase or there's a solution benefit for moving through ranges. So you're not sitting there looking at an option out of 50 different options to the customer, an in-ceiling speaker. You can probably very quickly narrow it down to 3 or 4 speakers, and then by a final sort of question, be it time, budget, performance, you've got the option. It's really easy to do. So yeah, with the new CI speakers, as I said, we're on our 4th generation of the Creator Series, launched in 2023. We looked at, and I'll mention it in a second, you'll see why. We looked at solutions for the integrator. So what did the integrator, what do you guys need to make your lives easier? And in terms of the physical product, we were looking at how easy it is to get from that box into the space it needs to be installed in quickly, easily, and it remains in there and delivers performance until you want to take it back out and upgrade the customer to another one, or they move house and want to redo it with a better level of system. So yeah, we introduced things like the quick link magnetic speaker terminal. I'll come on to that a little bit, but that's been a massive win for us. We've got so much positive feedback for something so simple. People will say, so simple, why did somebody not do it before? Well, we patented it because it's really good. Done loads of different flexible ways to install our speakers, and maybe combined when we have multiple models, put it into one solution. So there's just one SKU, one speaker to think about instead of multiple ways. We've increased the performance of our ranges, so everything has shifted up in performance, and we've been able to do that in the same cutout sizes as well. So that's a great bonus for customers already had monitor audio. You can take out their old monitor audio speakers and in the same cutout sizes, upgrade them to the new model or even better performance models, but still stick to the same sizes. We looked at even like right down to the details you've seen on there, making sure the fixing legs were of much more high performance, stop things snapping, getting lost in cavities and stuff like that. We've got some very clever captive screws on those. The grills have been upgraded. They're not just a pretty little hexagonal pattern. It actually gives us better dispersion of sound out and visually looks better to a customer. And even down to the end of the job. So when you're trying to pack everything down and get out of there, we've removed all of our polystyrene from all of our packaging. So all the Creator Series comes in 100% recyclable packaging, cardboard and recyclable plastic bags inside there, so you can literally fold it all down, take it away with you, or put it into recycling.
Like as I said before, it's like it just all of these things when you first start looking at the Creator Series and playing with it, it's like it's just been thought about. Your R&D team must have just sat installing speakers just to come up with all these little kind of ideas and little tweaks to be like, what's annoying about installing a ceiling speaker? What could we do to speed things up and make things easier in it? And it's really noticeable when you start kind of using and playing with the Creator Series stuff now.
I'll show you later how we came to that. We've got a specific why we're very good, and we are very hands-on with these products. We don't just design them and never touch them. But yeah, we went to the market to find out the information. I'll show you in a second. In terms of electronics, obviously, we do a whole host of amplifiers, so full multi-channel power amplifiers with DSP matrix configuration in them. They all connect into via network, via IP, so you can configure them on a lovely web GUI, and you can do a lot of the setup there for in the rack when you build it back at base when you first get it set up, or you can do that when you sit at your desk and you try and set it up in the first place. And then when you get to site, the product is probably 85–90% all set up there. You're doing final tweaks, final changes on stuff, or final EQ tweaks and things like that. But they're a fantastic range of amplifiers, and they're designed in conjunction with monitor audio speakers, the whole range of speakers that we do for custom install and hi-fi. So when you then come to commission that space, you can change the speaker configuration and choose and tell it it's got a pair of in-ceiling speakers of a particular model in there, and the EQ curve will adapt to those speakers, and then you can do some minor changes for the actual room acoustics. Yeah, they're a really great add-on, plus very good margin on those electronics compared to and they're the same margin as your speakers guys in OneAV as our custom install speakers and ceiling and wall speakers, which is a bit of a boom. Yeah,
we obviously had first load come in, and then we're using for amplification with the Synergy speakers in our cinema, and we were impressed the moment we start playing with them. You're like, oh, because obviously when we did monitor audio before, you had your first generation of amplifiers, you've got your second generation, and yeah, we were kind of a bit like, oh, these are good. So our tech team here, when we're having a bit of a play, we're very, very blown away with them in terms of, like I said, value for money and the margin people can make. They were very, very kind of impressive products coming out that second generation of the amplifiers for sure.
or back, a good warranty as well, 5-year, or we'll come into warranties, but yeah, 5-year warranty we give on the electronics, and on particular the Creator series across the board, it's pretty much a lifetime warranty. We'll come into that a bit, but yeah, we're really confident in the speakers. This is just a quick overview. We're going to zip through these because it gives you an idea, and then if you've got any questions on the Creator series and you're interested in using them in your projects and you want to know more, contact the guys at OneAV, get in contact with them. They can dig deeper and help you understand the ranges. By all means, go onto OneAV's website and have a look at them. Please go onto monithaudio.com and do some digging, and then ask the guys at OneAV if you've got some questions. But I'm going to do a quick overview and tell you the real sort of big moments, why you need to be dealing with them and looking at them. But yeah, so the Creator series, we simplified things down. We had a whole gamut of 40 odd in-ceiling, in-wall speakers in our old ranges, which were great, but the technology was about 10, 12 years old. Things had changed, aesthetics had changed, so installations of speakers around TV screens had really become a thing, whereas before we were just normally sticking 3 speakers vertically behind an acoustically transparent cinema screen, or it was just going to be a soundbar underneath the TV, a passive soundbar or something. People are now utilising those bigger LED OLED screens. They wanted speakers that sat around it in wall and on the ceiling that looked the right proportions. It was a good opportunity to update. But yeah, we looked at the whole range and managed to simplify it down from 40 odd models to 19. That's across all of the in-ceiling and in-wall models, which is pretty impressive, and still tick all the boxes and then some. We've got a performance level. It's shown in the ranges. So we have tiers 1 to 3. See that as your good, better, best. In the tier 1, you get the good CCAM technologies and all the things that Monitor Audio are known for at a known price budget point. We know that the customers obviously can't stretch out to some of the higher end products. That's fine. You've cut a hole at a certain size, you could always upgrade them later on when they want to upgrade, which is fantastic. Tier 2 is the more comprehensive technology tier. That's got a lot of solutions product in there. So when a customer has that slightly awkward installation, which it's probably pretty much every customer, but yeah, you'll find you're using a lot of products from tier 2. And then tier 3 is the performance range. It's the one that's got all the bells and whistles, and the customer's looking for the best audio experience, it 2-channel or multi-channel. Tier 3 will form most of that kind of setup here. Yeah,
it's safe to say that, like, when obviously trying to educate as a team on Monitor Audio, it was so straightforward having that tier 1, 2, and 3, because it's just like good, better, best. And obviously we're asking the guys at Monitor Audio to kind of say, what about this? What about this? So like almost for USPs of other speaker brands, which other speaker brands might say to customers, and try and obviously say, this is why our speaker stands out. And I think with the range and kind of the how you've kind of built the technology into them, there's an answer to everything. There is kind of like, you can go up against pretty much every other CI speaker out there, and you've got a solution for it. Which on the first glance, because there's this, like you said, you condense your SKUs, you don't think so, but actually once again, it's been really well thought about in terms of making it easy to understand for installers, so you know you're speccing the right product. And also, if you've got a kind of an issue or you want to achieve something in that space, there's a solution out there as well. So yeah, as John mentioned, like if people aren't sure, they want to know a bit more, they want some more product training around the Creator series, just let us know, because like I said, it isn't rocket science. They've actually done such a good job of making it easy to understand and know how to set the right product for the right job. It's
my training sessions are so much shorter these days. They used to be, we were working through hundreds of products and you really had to have to take big chunks of things. And now, once you understand the basics again, which is the 3 performance tiers, which is tier 1, 2, and 3, and hey, what a segue, the 3 cutout sizes, small, medium, and large, that's it. That's pretty much it to understand their ranges, which is, it's so simple. It makes everybody's lives a lot easier. So yeah, we took the existing cutout sizes that we did for our speakers. They were existing cutout diameter in millimeters. We have just renamed them to small, medium, and large, because that's a quicker thing to say and understand. But yeah, a small size cutout, what was a previous cutout size, we've managed to squeeze in a slightly larger mid-bass driver in every cutout size as well. So you've got a bit better performance, a bit more reduced risk of distortion and things all pumping through those speakers. So yeah, small size speakers, they used to be little 4-inch speakers in the same cutout, get a 5-inch mid-bass driver. The medium size cutouts used to be our 6 or 6.5-inch models, and now 7-inch. And then the large cutout used to be our 8-inch drivers, they're now 9-inch. And so that's all in the same cutout size. And also importantly, the depth of the speakers. I didn't touch on the previous slide, but yeah, we've reduced the depth of the product behind the surface as well. So everything in our tier 1 and tier 2 in ceiling speakers, bar the models you see with a CP on the end, the control performance, which I'll mention in a second, they're all under 99mm in depth. So you can fit those into pretty much most ceilings. And if you don't have that much, we do a super slim range as well separately, which we're not covering today, but will still fit in the same hole size. So if you have that horrible moment when you cut a hole and realize you haven't got the clearance you wanted, you haven't cut it for naught. So yeah, the control performance range, we also offer options on these speakers. So you can see on those model numbers, if you've got, say, a medium speaker and it's tier 1, then it's C for ceiling, 1 for the tier, and M for medium. And if you move to tier 2, C2M or whatever, you'll see some letters on the end of there. If it's got any special features on our speaker ranges, they're at the end of the product there. So we do a dual purpose, dual tweeter product there, which I'll come on to a little bit later. We do CP, which is control performance. That's a acoustic back box fitted onto those speakers to stop leakage of sound out the rear, and then we do angled speakers as well. So that's obviously quite a new thing to the market, but we brought in with the Creator series.
And also it's worth mentioning that if you want to hear the difference in the different tiers and the different sizes, or you want to demo that to your customers at OneAV when the showrooms run, we will have that comparison. So we're going to have kind of all different range, not every single option, but enough options to display kind of the difference between a tier 1, 2, and 3, and obviously the different sizes as well. So you'll be able to hear it, and if your customers you're trying to convince them to go upgrade to a tier 3 system, hopefully you bring them, they can hear the benefit, and they'll make that choice as well. So hopefully we'll be able to have that demo up and running very soon.
Absolutely. And surprise, surprise, the in walls work in exactly the same way. Tiers 1, 2, and 3, as you can see there, they look more impressive as you move up because they have got more technology built inside them and more features on them. So you can do a lot of things with a tier 3 product to make it really work in the space, really deliver performance. A lot of our tier 3 products are built off the technology that we developed for Synergy for our THX Ultra. So there you can almost see them as the stepping stone up to that. So the customer can't go full dedicated cinema room or 2-channel 2.1, whatever they're doing. Maybe the tier 3 models of that close enough to there. But yeah, again, that's our entire medium wall lineup. So we only need 4 speakers technically. We do a W1ME. You can see the first one there, which is a very budget version. We don't really sell very many of those in the UK. We develop them for certain markets around the world that are looking for an absolute economy model that we needed to fulfill. But looking at the sales numbers, it's W1M to W3M are the main products in there. And just to give it context as well, obviously, with those models, with the in walls, then you've got I've just shown you the medium. We do a small range and a large range as well. So yeah, there's a whole gamut of sizes of cutouts, as you saw with the in ceilings as well. We do a small, medium, large. It's all pretty straightforward, I'd say, Joe.
All makes sense.
It does. And we touched on designing for the integrator by the integrator. You'd think that's a great marketing slogan, and what does it mean? Well, actually, no, that's really true. We have a partner program. So when we developed the Creator series, so the speakers you've just seen, we didn't just do it in a closed bubble and hope for the best, or got information from one distributor and then based our design process on that. Actually, what we did is we had a forum, so we got in multiple distributors from around the world and the UK, and also some of our direct accounts, both integrators and retailers who integrate. And we sat down, had multiple meetings and went through those sort of pains. And it's very interesting. Everybody has different pains, but ultimately it's, as I mentioned before, how easy can I get that speaker from its starting location in my box into the customers and make sure it remains there and functions. So we started the Monitor Audio Partner Programme, the MAPP Programme. OneAV are part of that. So obviously, as we develop new products, they'll be included in part of there. And as you want to give us feedback on speakers as well, then you can say if you're finding great things work with our particular products, you want to feed that back, or there's a like to have and you think we've missed out on it, we want to hear about it. Still feed it back into to Joe and the team at OneAV. It will get back to us. We will hear about it. It will go into the melting pot. It will be considered.
Yeah, and like I said before, you can really feel that you get like Monitor Audio really do care about the integrator. CI is such a big focus, and that you can already see that in the kind of the Synergy products, the Creator Series products, and also when John gives us a bit of a teaser into a roadmap, you can really see kind of like the products almost. I wanted to meet him saying, do you know what would be really nice to see? They've kind of said, oh, well, funny enough, wait to see what's on the roadmap. Because it just makes sense because they're actually listening to integrators and obviously listening to the industry demands and seeing what's required, which is great because we really felt that and we can see that in the product. And hopefully when you guys, if you haven't or if you do, you'll know that basically, it is very much, like I said, designed by installers. You really feel like their R&D team have been installing these speakers endless times to tweak every little bit of detail to really suit the installer's need.
Yeah. And in some of those feedbacks, so some of the adaptations we made and listened to people, these are some of the examples. So we do in our tier 2 level of technology, we have a combined model. We do an in-ceiling speaker, which would do a single stereo. It will also do a wide dispersion sound in mono, or it'll create like a dipole speaker for cinema. So we used to have separate models. We used to have a stereo in-ceiling and then an FX model. We've just combined the two, and it just depends on if you then want to connect up one twin pair of speaker cables and you get a mono wide dispersion, flick a switch and those tweeters go out of phase and you get a great dipole for cinema use, or you can run a 4-core of cable into there and you get your high frequencies in stereo, and you get a great single in-ceiling stereo speaker all in one model, and it's of a much higher performance than we had previously in the old ranges. So that was something people were calling for. The FX, the dipole bipole speaker was dying off slightly, but still people wanted stereo in ceiling. And it was like, I wish I had one speaker that could fill a space really well in a sort of across a certain lateral, and it's that mono wide dispersion is great. Popping those in hallways, above places like long kitchen counters, kitchen islands, where you don't want the sound beaming down to the island but actually filling the room. They've been awesome for that. So yeah, that was one of the feedbacks we got. 3-way design of speakers. So our inverted dual concentric is what IDC stands for. It's our 3-way speaker design, so you're getting a really high performance product. Before we did it in our mid-range products up to the high end, we've absolutely developed the hell out of that product. So now all of our tier 3 products in the in-ceiling use the second iteration of inverted dual concentric, and it really shows with customers who've then taken that product, put it into cinema or for 2-channel listening. More and more people just want a stereo pair of maybe angled in-ceiling speakers down to their listening position. It's a very clean install. That's an absolutely phenomenal offering there. What a segue. There's the angled in-ceiling. So we've got an angled in-ceiling model, so the actual tweeter and mid bass is angled at 25 degrees. You can point that towards the listening position. Great for premium Atmos installations. We've taken the feedback through our partner program, and we're now developing, this is a newsbreaker, a tier 2 version of this product, and we're looking to release that in the near future. So you'll have a lesser priced but still high performance product in our tier 2 for the angled product. Our Hyphen loudspeaker, which is that fantastic looking flagship loudspeaker, that was our 50th anniversary of Monitor Audio. It was all hung around our drive unit technology on it, and you see that sort of belt with drive unit sitting in a large circle, and in the center is our high frequency unit. So our version of the air motion transformer, we call it micro pleated diaphragm, because we've changed the physical layout of those pleats, how close they are and how tall they are. So MPD, micro pleated diaphragm, that was trickled down from Hyphen into key products. So our Platinum series of products in wall and hi-fi speakers have that, and also our tier 3 products also have that as well. A quick link terminal, we've touched on that already, but this was something so simple.
Simple,
so easy.
I think is always sum up, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. People just said, how can I install things easier in the ceiling? And instead of us adding extra cost to a product and having to put accessories in that you had to pre-install into place that cost you more money, and therefore you're charging the customers more money. It took more time because you're doing double visits and things like that. We thought, how is the easiest way? What is the biggest bugbear? And people said, I'm standing up a ladder 10 feet high, trying to balance some 3 or 4 kilo product on my shoulder whilst trying to push down spring clips to try and get speaker cable in place. This is insane. It's like, and there must be a better way to this. So Charles, our product design director, had that kind of sit down, let's be logical with our partners, and we came with a quick link. So you've got a small little magnetic speaker connector. You can pre-terminate with that, leave that in the space, clip it behind where it needs to go in the wall or in the ceiling. And then when you come to install the product, you just offer up the product, click it in magnetically, it latches into place. There's a clever little latching system so you can't accidentally pull it back off the product. And then you've got one hand holding the product, one hand with screwdriver or drill, and then you can fit the product into the wall or into the ceiling really easily. So those quick links are in every single Creator Series product in the box. You can order them as spares as well. So if you want to go around and pre-terminate everything first, you can do that. And then when the product arrives, you can then switch out the quick links out of the box and just put the product straight into the ceiling, and you're ready to go for the next install. Really, really clever. So yeah, it delivers really beautiful projects like that. We've obviously got some tier 2 in ceiling medium speakers. That would be a pain trying to install those, trying to put spring clips into there. So yeah, so the main thing is working together. Our ops director, Richard, he's got many a year experience in the FMCG market and moving products around, and making sure operationally the businesses that he's worked for are profitable. He was brought on board with Rob Barford, our CEO, at similar times. He's massively revolutionised our operational side of things. So now we have great process in place, very quick and easy to work. The good thing is we haven't introduced all the red tape. So we've not gone to a company that's professionalised but has loads of red tape in place. So the reason we say that is, why do we work together, Monitor Audio and OneAV? We've basically, I think we can bash things between us, Joe. I think we've tried to offer things that is appealing to OneAV as a distributor, as appealing to yourselves to supply your clients.
Yeah, and for us, it was, like I said, we are a custom install distributor, and our main focus is serving our installers. And we want to work with brands who allow us to do that, whether it's having right product offering, having product readily available, having technical support, so on and so forth. And it was almost kind of, when we sat down with you, all of our kind of what we have come to be our OneAV promise, as we call it, or kind of like what we kind of our values are at OneAV. It was almost like music to our ears, because without saying anything, it was just made perfect sense to kind of come out and explain. And I think we really felt as well, kind of normally when we approach brands, we have to do a sales pitch in terms of saying what we can add to a brand as a distributor, in terms of having that kind of additional sales support, technical support, logistics, system design. And it's almost like you guys said that already, so we didn't have to do our sales pitch, because you were like, oh, we see OneAV supporting us on sales. Because I think we're in a world where sometimes installers and integrators feel like they've made it if they get a direct account, and like, oh, I've got a direct account with said brand and said this. Whereas I think the real value in brand relationships and distributor relationships, which is stood out with Monitor Audio, they understood, is actually utilizing a distributor as a brand, because I think it's fair to say price is going to be the same. So it doesn't matter if you've got a direct account, if you come to OneAV, your buy price will be the same. So you're not getting anything better. What you are getting from OneAV is probably a much more hand-holding, kind of much more thing. We are geared up to support the whole project, because if you've got an amplifier, or say, for example, you've got a WIM streamer going in with your speakers, and you ring Monitor Audio saying the speaker's not performing, I've Monitor Audio go, oh, I don't know anything about WIM. Whereas with OneAV, we know how to support the amplifier, the streamer, the speakers. It might be that you're extracting the audio from a TV going into said thing, and their Monitor Audio tech team are going, well, I don't really know much about ARC or optical. Whereas as a distributor, we are geared up for custom install whole system support. And when we spoke to guys at Monitor Audio, without us having to do our usual sales pitch to a brand, Monitor Audio kind of came to us with the sales pitch to us, saying exactly what we were going to say to them. So it was quite refreshing, really, on that one, on that side, John, wasn't it?
It was, it really was. It's it's one of those things where I think, as you just said, the direct account is not always the one to be. You've got to have a direct account. It's the distributor. You can add so much value to the sale, and you've got some technical expertise with other products, the brands that hopefully you guys on the call are buying from OneAV or potentially been buying OneAV. It's like it's a win-win. So yeah, that's worked really well for us. And I think we support you guys with, we can do the back end stuff really well. So we can do the product delivery. We've got the product sitting, as I said, in our UK warehouse. That's ready to go. With you guys, it can be there within 24 hours. We look at our distribution market in the UK, and we make sure that who we're distributing to are the right partners that we work with and are representing the brand correctly. And we have a very clear split on our hi-fi and CI ranges to make sure that the more premium products, the products that need that hand holding and that integration, are available through the integration market only, and they're not just pushed out there onto the internet for everybody just to purchase, to play around with, to then not understand, and ultimately it damages the brand when people don't understand what they're representing or what they're selling or what they're buying. So yeah, we've got a very clear route to market with our products. As I touched on, UK stock holding, it's all sitting in the warehouse there. You can see Amanda and Aisha there, and the lovely work.
I think it's with stock holding. I think it's like obviously OneAV, we hold stock and you guys hold stock. So OneAV, we can offer next day service on majority of Monitor Audio SKUs, and also we can keep pulling from Monitor Audio stock. So we've got a nice flow of stock. So in theory, majority of the time, we should always be able to support you on stock holding and next day delivery on that side of things. Because yeah, as like I said, we've got obviously the main Monitor Audio warehouse is in the UK, which OneAV can pull from, but also our stock holding at OneAV is pretty good as well. So we have got kind of all the major SKUs in stock here at our warehouse.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of the actual stock itself, as we put on there, nice little thing to mention. But we do, we've got a quality control team in place, again, UK, but also staff based out in China, where some of our manufacturing takes place. We have a sort of triple check system to make sure the products effectively are failure free from manufacturing right through to delivery out to your customers when you come to install them. But yeah, we looked at the last 12 months based across our entire custom install range of electronics and CI speakers, and our failure rate across everything, return back and actually confirm faulty RMAs, was 0.2%, which is, yeah, I think probably one of the best in the market. I'd love to see it.
Installers will appreciate that. That's very low. I think sometimes people shy away from talking about failure rates, but yeah, anything kind of below 5% is pretty impressive in the CI industry. So yeah, that's a mega impressive figure on that one.
Yeah, we know when we develop those products, we benchmark against the others. We know what the level is that people are expecting for installation, and we try and surpass that. So as we've got here for Monitor Audio products, for Roxanne products, for Block, we have really clear defined warranty periods, which are shown with the products when you get them. They're included in there. It's on our website. It's very clear to everybody what's available. So if you are the integrator that's delivering that product, you are getting that warranty supplied through your distributor, through OneAV. You can say to the customer, you are looking after them with, on our Creator Series, a lifetime warranty on any Creator Series product. So if that product should develop a manufacturing fault, we'll supply spare parts where it's that simple, just to repair the product, and you repair that product. If it's not possible to repair it, we'll replace the entire product with like for like. If we don't make that product for some reason when it comes to that time, we will replace it for the alternative of the same performance at that period of time. So yeah, you've got complete peace of mind that you're installing something you know it's got a low failure rate and it's gonna be covered.
Yeah, no, that just segues. We've got a question. I was going to do questions, but Nick asked the question in terms of where do I go? Where does he go for spare parts, such as replacement dog legs, or if we've got any faulty products? As John said, come to OneAV. We've got the spares. We don't have all the spare parts listed on the front end of a website because there are thousands of them, as you can imagine, from all the different Monitor Audios. But we have them available on our back end as OneAV. So if you kind of call up our tech team, or speak to Chris or Adam, they'll be able to help you, and we can put orders on for spare parts, or if it's in warranty, we can just kind of get the warranty replacement sent out to you ASAP on that. So yeah, first port of call if you're buying through OneAV is come to our OneAV tech team, and our guys are now geared up to obviously be able to find the spare part, get it to you, and get a solution in place as soon as possible on that one.
Yeah, and Joe and Chris, when they came to visit us, they saw our stock holding for spare parts is pretty colossal. We go back for most ranges about 10 years, but for some models we're going back for like 20 odd years for spare parts, things like drive units and fixings and stuff like that. So the things that can break, we know we keep them in
just conscious on time, Josh. Should we go to the what everyone wants to see, really, the roadmap? Because I think we've kind of spoken the distribution channels and stuff like that.
The stuff you guys will be interested in, where we're going as well. So obviously, we need to move with the market. We've seen, especially over COVID and after that, things have changed and people are asking for things. We've moved with that time. We can that quickly. And Michael Hedges has headed up our team to deliver those things. So here's a teaser of some of the products that are coming up in the future. Obviously, our creator series, as I pointed out, we've got a medium-sized creator series at the moment. Small and large are the two cutout sizes. Guess what? Our large creator in series speakers are just over 6 weeks away now. They're coming out, so that's a full high performance in-wall speaker with dedicated back boxes to go with these. So if you're doing the pre-construction, we'd recommend fitting the acoustic back boxes into the wall. They're not pictured in here, but yeah, there's 3 tiers of those products coming out. They replace our really popular control performance, the model numbers IW 260X and 460X. These are superseding those kind of products and giving you a whole lot more. With this shown on there in that picture with white grills as they come in the box, just as a heads up, all of our grills on our custom install ranges are paintable, or we now do a black grill option as well. So an optional extra you can buy is black grills for the Creator Series products. But yeah, they're coming in September. So for your high performance 2-channel, 2.1, 2.2 or cinema, that's going to be available. This is they
really, the kind of in more large really fills a gap. We found it just kind of speccing things, not just from OneAV, but I think in the industry, kind of that points between kind of your entry level, kind of like medium level media room, up to your full blown synergy systems, those in walls. So we're pretty excited to get them because really going to feel
absolutely, yeah. It's that missing piece, really. We hadn't got the larges. They were slightly older technology. We couldn't replace every single model every single time for our series. But yeah, here we are we're addressing that now from feedback from people. So yeah, in wall large, that's coming in September. It's a busy old time, September as well, launching. We've got the new Creator Series mount boxes. So as people on the call may or may not be aware, Monitor Audio, we until very recently produced a range called Sound Frame, which is taking speaker drivers and fit them into a nice, neat on-wall or in-wall solution, and then a fabric grill over the front, or customizable grills were available as an optional extra on Sound Frame. That range has now come to an end. It's been strongly selling for about 14 years, so it's been around for a long time. But now, using our technical know-how and listening to the market, we're now bringing out the Creator Series mount boxes. So these are a great MDF wall or ceiling mountable back box that have the right acoustic characteristics, the right size for the products you put inside them, depending on the model number. It allows you to take any of those Creator Series small, medium, large products and put them into a back box and then hang that for your customers on the ceiling or the wall really easily. So it saves you having to
once again, very clever products. And I think we can see the industry trends. There's some very popular on-wall speaker solutions out there at the minute who do a very good job. So these kind of, like I said, performance-wise, gives everyone an option to actually up the performance, stick with Monitor Audio, and still have a very nice on-wall option where full custom install is an option, or kind of floor standards on option. So yeah, it's a very clever product because it just opens a lot more doors for, once again, for the installer making those sales and speccing jobs. It gives you so many more options without having a load of more speakers to worry about and performance to speak about. So
yeah, I'm going to learn a whole new range. If you understand our in-ceiling and in-walls, you know how they're going to perform. You're putting them into a back box that's optimized for those. How easy can that get? And also coming a few days away, we're not too far away, next Monday, our hi-fi ranges, we haven't forgotten about those. We're always updating those, and I say all our hi-fi ranges are now within 5 years worth of refresh. Bronze is the oldest. 2020 is when we launched the previous bronze range, but we've got that first new product, the bronze series, coming out. We've slimmed down the range, but for those customers who want traditional loudspeakers and it's their first step into maybe audio and they're keeping the budget conscious, bronze is a great place to start with Monitor Audio. We've got a ranges of speakers: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, all of those available through OneAV. But bronze is a starting point if your customers want to get into high fidelity and they want to try a pair of bookshelf speakers or floor standing speakers. We do some great on-wall speakers in this range as well. So if you're interested more in this range as well, so we're not trying to just focus on custom in-store, so the hi-fi speakers and the lifestyle speakers are available as well, please get in contact with the guys at OneAV and have the conversations. They can share a bit of information, and then you'll see everything go live on Monday when we announce this new bronze range.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. Once again, like I said, it's that kind of, you've got a customer who just wants a basic kind of in-room, even like a 5.1 setup or anything like that, isn't it, John? It just kind of, performance-wise, it's and yeah, just having that latest technology and that facelift, because most speaker brands will be happy with a speaker being 5 years old and continue to sell it, whereas with you guys, you've regenerated, relaunched it, and it gives us kind of a very kind of cutting edge entry-level option into high fidelity and kind of in-room solutions. So yeah, that's Monday, isn't it?
That's it, Monday. Yeah, we're all the stock is ready to go. I should point out on these as well, this is a great thing to point out in all these ranges. You probably saw on there, when we launch a product, be it custom install, then we will normally give all of our partners, integrators, at least a 6-month, if not 9-month heads up on the product, so you see it well ahead. So for some of these products, for instance, like these in-wall large, we showed them at ISE in February, and people can see them, talk about them, start putting them into projects. They're not suddenly dumped onto you the last minute, or you're scrabbling around for CAD or specs or stuff like that. So that's a big thing. You know about these products ahead of time, but also stock availability. When we launch it, the stock availability is there at the same time. You're not getting a launch and then having to wait 3 months while you're trying to promise your customer on the project that it will turn up, and it will turn up and it gets delayed again. We make sure that these products, the stock is available at the time of launch. And hi-fi, normally it's about 3 months out. We'll give you a heads up on the product range, and again, stock available at launch time at OneAV. So yeah, that's really important. And finally, because I know we need to rattle through, Joe touched on it earlier on, all of our resources, my marketing team with Matt, marketing manager, and all of our technical from Dan Rogers is all pushed through into OneAV. So these guys have got access to all of our product guides, catalogs, all the CAD, all the service bulletins, everything you need. Please contact OneAV to get access to all those informations. We've got a whole wealth of them, which is available to the team at OneAV, and they can go hunting for it. They can cherry pick it out for you and pass it on to you if you need that information. But yeah, get in contact with Joe if you want some collateral, or if you want to update your website and socials to show that you're supporting OneAV and Monitor Audio. Then we can give you all those brand ready logos, everything all available. Please don't go scraping images from elsewhere around the web. We've got it all done for you in much better quality.
So that's what Deb's here for. And a lot of people don't realize they can pull on it saying, oh, I'm updating my website, or I want to do some social media posts, pushing Monitor Audio, kind of reach out, and Deb will put you into contact with Deb, and she can help you with the assets and kind of all that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely lean on us for that service for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let's bring it into land.
Yeah. Hey, we won't go over everything in a summary. Like I said, this has been recorded so you can watch it back. We have got a couple of questions left, John. The first one is for you from Mr. Stuart Burgess, saying, are you publishing Spinorama data on the speakers? I know it's something that a number of Home Cinema Alliance members are asking to confirm the RP22 standards.
Hello, hi Stuart. We are publishing on our website on monitoraudio.com. You've got a limited amount of information. If you require deeper information, then get in contact with our technical team. I think you may have already spoken to Michael Johnson, our global marketing head, but if you get in contact with him, or you can put in contact with Dan Rogers, who is the global technical lead, he can give you the information. That's not a problem. We don't publish everything on our website. If you look on monitoraudio.com, we put a lot more RP22 centric information on there, and we are very open about the specs onto there, but we don't put everything, because monitoraudio.com is a customer facing website and they don't need to know that information. The real nitty gritty stuff is either on our brand hub, which is available to direct accounts, or as I say, if you go through our technical team, they'll be able to supply that information for you. Yes, it's all there because we are a key partner on the board of the RP22, the CDA council. So yeah, please do reach out.
So it's Monitor Audio, one of the few speaker brands who are going to play ball with the RP22 side of things. Another one is from Michael Blake. To be clear, all CI speakers come with a grill.
All of our CI speakers do come with a grill in the box. Generally, it's a round grill for in ceiling, and generally it's a rectangular or square speaker for the in walls. Yes, they come inside in the box with the product. The only ones that don't come with grills are some of our hi-fi range of speakers.
I think it's fair. Even Synergy come with grills, don't they? In the box.
Yeah, there's everything. We listened, and some people have stripped those out and have saved money on putting grills into places, but we've kind of expanded it outside, so we made sure the grills were less depth. Say we improved the pattern for the dispersion, the hexagonal pattern for better dispersion. We ensured we've got things like for the weather resistant. They're weather resistant grills, they don't rust. And then we started off offering other options, so you can swap out the grill. If you don't want a round grill on an in-ceiling speaker, you want a square grill, just buy the optional spare. We can supply that through OneAV, or we've started doing black as an option as well now. So yeah, always a grill with a custom installed product or its kit that goes with it. If you're unsure if you're fitting something in there, and you just want to make sure, there's some products like our in-ceiling subwoofers and the flush fit in ceilings, which you've got a kit that you can choose for like pre-construction or retrofit, and then they give you the options of, again, the grill in the kit. But yeah, the guys through OneAV will be able to guide you when you place the order. If they see an order comes through and you've not included it, they'll probably pick up on it.
Yeah. Perfect. So we've got another question from Andrew Bissett. John, what is the plan for the radius range?
Hello, Andrew. Your radius has been serving us well. So it's going to be coming up to next year, it'll be around 20 years in its various iterations. So the latest version came out 2017 revised. It's just about to go end of life at the moment. Its current guise. It's still a really successful range to custom installers, and we do a lot of business through particularly the CI channel. It's not the end of the line, the radius, so watch this space. We try and discontinue a product range and allow a good 6 to 9 months for that product range then to sell through, so when the new range comes out, the market is obviously ready for that. So yeah, keep your eye on this space for spring and summer. Yeah.
I was going to say, I know John and the guys kind of let us in for little secrets. There's a lot more on the roadmap than obviously John can talk about right now. And when we went around the R&D department, there was a lot of people running around hiding certain prototype products from myself and Chris. So yeah, be assured, even though stuff is going in the line, it doesn't mean it is dead, because there's a lot more in the pipeline, which John isn't allowed to say. I know for sure. Also, Michael's got another question, which is, it's not clear on the website. Okay, that's a fair comment. We'll take it on board. Yeah, we'll get that updated, because yeah, we need to know. But he also wants to know, is there any info or plans for single zone streaming amplifier? I'm guessing he means from the monitor audio electronics range, because obviously OneAV, just to plug, you can actually get WIM single zone streamer amplifiers from WIM. So
yes,
the I range and standalone, they've got the WIM amp Ultra as well, which gives you some more power. So that's 60 the channel currently standard amps, and the Ultra and the Vibe Link will have 100 watts per channel. But yeah, anything from monitor audio coming out, John?
The easy answer to that one is not in the custom install range, because we do the IMS4 streamer, which you're buying into 4 zones, and you could scale that. You could start off with 1 zone and feed that into a 1 zone amplifier. And also we have to be conscious about Blue Sound and Blue OS, because they already produce a range of single zone streamers themselves, and we'd be almost competing on the same level as them producing a product which would do exactly the same but with rebadged as monitor audio. We don't feel that brings any benefit to you guys as integrators. Plus, by the time we've engineered in our costs to license Blue Sound off and put it inside, we'd actually probably end up being more expensive than Blue Sound in creating the same unit. So yes, single zone streamers, no. But there is obviously that scaling ability that you could either purchase one of our products or something like Roxanne. So you could put in a Roxanne product. They're a single hi-fi zone product, but they've still got a network connection, still work on Blue OS. So you could have that as a showpiece in one room and use that, and a single zone streamer powering a pair of in-ceiling, in-wall hi-fi speakers to a really high quality. Or you just install an IMS for the 4 zone streamer, and you would only be utilizing 1 zone, or however many zones you want to start off with. You could hide the zones in the Blue OS app and then switch them on.
Yeah, I think like obviously OneAV, we used to distribute Blue Sound, and Blue OS is a great product. So I can see why Michael he's loving. He's just put completely understood. Loving Blue OS right now. Yeah, we understand, like you said, they've got obviously the Node, the Power Node, Power Node Edge, and things like that. So they've got a load of kind of good single use stuff. If you've obviously come into OneAV and you have got someone on Blue OS system, you can actually still group and ungroup using AirPlay 2, and obviously using Google to create groups in Google Chromecast as well. So you can make set groups in Google. So if you have got something on Blue OS and then you're looking to use another kind of interface, whether it's Win or Sonos or things like that, there's ways you can get them to work together. But as John said, if you're getting some really nice hi-fi and you want a single room stereo amplifier for Roxanne stuff, it's kind of like if they're getting premium speakers, they need a premium amp. So you look down the Roxanne route. But that is it for the questions. So John, thanks for your time this morning. Hopefully everyone on the call found it useful. Like I said, this has been recorded, so it's not going to be publicly available, but we will be able to send the link out to people who haven't been able to make the call, or even if you guys want to re-watch it, so reach out. If you want more kind of information on any products or a bit of product training or got any questions, reach out. You've all got our contact details at OneAV, and obviously our guys here, even myself or probably someone like Joe Fletcher, who's our technical sales guy, we can jump on calls with you, talk you through it. If necessary, if it's a really complicated solution, obviously we can pull in John from Monitor, and Dan as well, who is the guru on that side of things. And yeah, hopefully watch this space for demo facilities opening in Malvern and down in Essex, all both happening kind of later this year, if not early next year. And then the next time, hopefully we'll see everyone. We are both going to be at Central Install Live in September. So if you come and say hello, we'll be having some of the new products. That's it. But no, thanks guys. Any questions, you know where we are. And really appreciate you all jumping on the call this morning.
Cheers everyone. Thanks for your time.